Hey guys, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. My name's Tessa. I know it's been a little while between uploads. I've been really busy, as I'm sure everybody is, obviously with work and stuff. I work in a restaurant, so obviously summer's the busiest, so you know how that is. But I'm back today with something different we haven't done before. I was a teenager in like 2013, 2014, obviously. And I was really into the internet and really into fandoms and fan culture and all of that. I was definitely into several YouTubers, boy band members, and the like, as I'm sure many people were at the time. But I took it a little step further. I wrote a lot of fan fiction. I don't have all of it. That'll probably have to be a part two, honestly, because I do have a box stashed somewhere full of songs and stories and a bunch of other shit that I wrote and drew that's very cringy and will make great content. So we'll see that sometime soon, I'm sure. But today we have my old quoted account. If you were a teenager in 2014, you might recognize this. A lot of people were on Wattpad, and I was not. I was on Tumblr. This was me in middle school. This was like 2014. Most of this is a lie. Not much of this is accurate at all. I say here that I'm 5'4". I have never been 5'4". I am still 5'2". Dark red hair. I was a blonde. I dyed my hair. Slip into an English accent from time to time. No, I did not. I forced it, but I was not born in London. Yeah. And come back and read my stories. Yeah, all that. Here we have a quote from J.C. Kalen. If he's still popular, I guess. But you know, O2L, I was obsessed with it. There is a fan fiction about a member of O2L that we'll get to. And then a poem here that I absolutely copy and pasted and stole from somebody else, and then told my mother I wrote. And then when she saw it somewhere else on the internet, she questioned me. Very odd. Yeah, my name is not London. That is not my name. I was born in the wrong country or something. I don't know what that says. Something like that. First, I'm going to start some of my journal things here. Somebody else wrote this. I'm not going to read it because I didn't write it. This, interesting. It's called Untitled because I was bad at naming things. Buckle up, guys. Start strong with a quote from my favorite book, still to this day. It is The Fault in Ours. Not The Fault in Our Stars. What am I thinking? That came way later. Perks of Being a Wallflower. Perks of Being a Wallflower is, and has been, and will be, continue to be, my favorite book, and I love the movie. I love the movie so much, I have 3 copies of the DVD. If you ever want to peek inside my psyche, read that book. I annotated the shit out of that book. My copy is so destroyed, it is like no cover. Drawn in, highlighted. It's horrible. Anyway, and in that moment, I swear, we were infinite. I said that quote again and again in my mind as we stood there. I definitely don't feel that infant now. This feels wrong, dancing with another man. I belong with Ed Sheeran. But I guess he doesn't think so. Lynn, what the hell are you doing? Oh, God, why did I write like this? I hear a familiar voice. I turn around to see Ed. Ed, I thought you said you didn't want to talk to me again, I said with tears in my eyes. He looks great. His ginger hair, his blue eyes. Lynn, I know I said that, but I miss you so much. He looked me dead in the eyes as he said that. The guy I was dancing with speaks then, slurring his words. Yeah, well, she's dancing with me now, so, like, you can get lost, asshole. Why did I fucking... Excuse me, Ed says to him, slightly appalled. I said get lost, he says. Hey, don't talk to him like that, I say to the guy. Shut up, bitch. He said back. Then it happened. Smack. Ed hit him right in the face. The boy didn't know what hit him. Was he a boy or a man? Girl, he fell to the ground as Ed yelled at him. No one talks to her like that. No. Why did I capitalize? No, Ed, thank you. What the fuck did I... Ed, thank you, I said, jumping into his arms. Ed, I'm so sorry. It's okay, Lynn. I'm the one who was wrong to begin with. I wrote something for you. Would you like to hear it? Yes, of course. All right, come on. Why did you know what's so sad? Is I was like the top of my English class. I was up there. I was one of the best students in that class, and I read at a 12th grade level from like the time I was in 6th grade, and I still wrote like shit. Wow. I hope we get better from here on out. Okay, where was I? He says, leading me out the door of the club, down the street to his flat. As we're walking, I think to myself, oh my gosh, he wrote me something. We arrive at his flat and he grabs a guitar. He starts strumming a slow, soft tune. Then begins to sing. So then the rest of this, right here, is this part, is a song that I wrote when I was like 13, probably. That's a direct rip of, God, what the fuck's that? 18 by Ed Sheeran. Direct rip, pretty much. At least the beginning of it is. Light blue eyes, red full lips, mesmerized by your beauty tonight. As I stand here speechless by your presence, you don't even know how my heart beats for you out of control. But I just can't find the words to say how I feel here with you now. Oh my god, yeah, I'm not reading the rest of that because that's so fucking embarrassing. Wow. Ooh. God, I was so cringy. Anyway, what else is on here? Everyone's a star and deserves to twinkle. Okay, I learned what pride was. Wow, I was still in the closet. That's crazy. Today I'm working on some of my songs, revising them. I might post one or two later, but I'm not sure. Weird behavior. Okay, what do we want to start with? Okay, this one I think is pretty good. This was December 22nd, 2013. And it's a fantasy story I wrote. And I will tell after who one of the characters is, who I had in mind, like who I designed the character after in my head, basically. It was so odd. I'm so weird. Once upon a time, there was a girl. This girl was lovely and smart and very quick. She had bright blue eyes that glimmered like the ocean when she was very passionate about what she was saying. God, I was so full of myself. Her hair was dark red and went down to the bottom of her back. That's a lie. My hair was fried. I dyed it. She had pale skin and very small hands and feet. I did. She was barely 5'4". I was not. Everyone she knew called her Little Doll because she looked like a China doll. Once, before she was even 14, she was walking through the woods behind her grandmother's house when she found a door whilst going on one of her many adventures. This door was the color of blue like the sky on a summer day and was standing in the middle of nowhere and was intertwined with the branches of an overhanging willow tree, as if the door had grown on the tree like an apple blossom. She studied the door thoroughly, taking in every detail of the beautiful piece of wood in front of her. She slowly reached for the shiny silver handle on the right side of the door. She turned it, expecting to find nothing but trees and flowers on the other side. She was very surprised to find that there was nothing on the other side. She was very confused and flabbergasted. She tried to think of how on earth this was possible when she felt a soft tap on her shoulders. She turned to find a tall boy with curly almond-colored hair and emerald eyes that were the shade of grass in the spring. He stared down at her tiny frame, her being not even 5'4" and him being about 5'11". They stood for a moment, just looking at each other and studying the other, when he slowly spoke to her in a thick English accent not unlike her own. So, real quick before we move on, I am not British, never have been British, but I really was, like, trying to make people think that I was British. Like, this clearly, like, I was basing this on myself, even though I was lying about my height, hair color, national origin. Like, who did I think I was fooling? Anyway, I see you found my secret hideout. I'm not doing the accent. Would you like to come inside and see it? He asked in a soft yet assuring tone. She waited a moment before nodding, not being able to find her voice to answer. He grabbed her hand and led her through the dark door. As they walked in, the door closed automatically behind them, causing the girl to jump. The boy chuckled before giving her hand a slight, reassuring squeeze and leading her further into the dark. The boy took long, large steps, whereas the girl took small steps as she stumbled to keep up. After what seemed like 10 minutes, the boy stopped walking and let out a long, one-tone whistle. After a moment, there was a reply of a short, high-pitched whistle. Suddenly, there was a bright flash, and the dark space was illuminated. The girl found herself standing in a land that she had never seen before. She was surrounded by people of every height, shape, and size, each one more odd and colorful than the last. Her eyes met with the girl her height, with long blue hair that went to her feet and curled every which way. The blue-haired girl stepped forward and quickly curtsied to the girl before stepping back and letting her long orange dress fall back into its place around her legs. Then a smaller girl with short, hot pink hair took a step forward and did the same as the first girl. After them, the others went. The girl guessed around 7, not counting the first 2 girls. When everyone else had gone, the boy with the almond hair spoke up. This is my family. I created them. They were all lost and alone before I found them. Now you're going to join us. The boy told her this was the colorful members of the family nodded in agreement. The girl looks from person to person with a scared expression on her face. She speaks up for the first time since she found the magical door. I am honored, really I am. But I can't just leave my friends and family without saying goodbye. She watched their expressions closely. The blue-haired girl smiles a small but sad smile before nodding. The boy is the one who speaks up. That's all right, love. We understand you don't have to. We understand you don't have to stay. We just thought that you always say you want to get away. That you love that. We just thought that you always say you want to get away. That you love it here. But you can go home. That's fine. He tells her in a strong voice, but she can sense the pain. He was gaslighting. Oh my god. The girl hugs the blue and pink-haired girls, then the boy, and the others before turning and leaving through the red door. She runs home and goes to tell her grandmother about her adventure. Her grandmother thinks she just fell asleep and dreamt it all. Once her mother comes to pick her up, she tells her as well, once again being told she imagined it. She told as many people as she could, each one telling her she had gone crazy. I just remembered how this ends. Finally, her family had grown tired of her story and sent her to a psychological hospital. The workers tried to tell her it all never happened. They put her in a yellow padded room so she wouldn't hurt herself. She slowly and eventually went insane. The madness of no one believing her drive her to lose every bit of sanity she had left. One day she snapped. She started beating on the walls of the padded room until she was tired. Once she stopped and was lying in a pile on the floor, the workers came in to tell her they had someone to see her. She sat up as the boy with almond hair walked into the room. He knelt down, whispering in her ear before standing up and walking right out. They don't believe you, but I do. I'll get you out of here. Then he left. Later that night, as the girl was lying down to sleep, the boy came into her padded room, shaking her awake and throwing her over her shoulder and walking out of the building. The boy took her back to the woods and through the door. After that, the girl didn't leave. He stayed with the boy. After 2 years of living with the boy, they got engaged. They planned a lovely wedding where the blue-haired girl was the maid of honor. For the next 60 years, lived happily ever after. Even had 5 children together. God. He totally, gaslighted and kidnapped this girl, and then I made her have his babies. That's so fucking weird. Eventually, the boy and girl, now grown with children and grandchildren, have passed away, leaving the legacy of the boy who created a secret magic land to the girl who was drove insane by she found in the woods. And my little post-mortem here is, be wary, your curiosity might just drive you insane. What the fuck was wrong with me? My parents hadn't even divorced at this point. Weirdly, what was happening in my psyche? That's so odd. What is wrong with me? That wasn't even a fan fiction. Oh, actually, no, it was based on a YouTuber. The guy, the main dude I'm talking about, he was, 37 reads. Wow. The main dude, he was based on, Kick the PJ. He's still a YouTuber, but I was obsessed with him, of course. Here we have 2 different One Direction stories. This one is Larry Stylinson, obviously. It's where you ship Harry and Louis. This is one of my first ones, actually, I think. That's crazy. 131 readers. It's pretty good. I think this one's the best, so we're going to leave that one to the last. This one's only 2 pages. It's pretty short. That's a picture my mom took of a tree outside my house. It's so funny. Okay. What is this little bit right here? I look up and see the most beautiful boy I've ever seen. He looks at me and smiles just before he gets pulled toward the stage. The judges ask his name and he says it's Louis. I hear the music start. Plain white tees I say under my breath, and he starts to sing and I find myself memorized. I need to talk to this boy. That's a little snippet of what's to come. This is so goddamn cringy. Oh my god. It starts with the lyrics of Isn't She Lovely? You know, Harry Styles song he sang for his audition for whatever. I just copied and pasted it. I guarantee you. I finished singing and look up to see the judges smiling. I'm on the X Factor. After my mom signed me up, I couldn't refuse. Harry, I'm gonna say yes. When I hear her say this, my heart stops. Am I hearing her correctly? I'm going to say yes as well. I must be crazy. Well, Harry, Simon says, that's 3 yeses. Welcome to the X Factor. I don't know if that's actually what they said, but knowing me, I was crazy enough to absolutely, word for word, write down what they said. Anyway. Thank you so much, I say before exiting the stage to see my mom running towards me with tears in her eyes. I knew you could do it, she says, hugging me tightly. This can't be real, I tell myself. Why did I write this? I put my head in my hands and think to myself, how is this possible? I look up and I see a boy. He looks at me and smiles just before he gets pulled toward the stage. The judges ask his name and he says it's Louis. I hear the music start. Plain white tees, I say under my breath. I don't know why I put... why did I... Whatever. He starts to sing and I find myself mesmerized. Once he finishes singing, I can see them all smiling. Well, Louis, they say, it's a yes. Congratulations, welcome to the X Factor. When they say this, he gets so happy he jumps up and down. He walks off the stage to what must be his family. He hugs his mom and what I'm guessing are his sisters. Harry, I hear my mom say, yes. You did amazing, she says with tears in my eyes. Why did I just say yes like that? So funny. Thanks, Mom, but don't cry. I'll cry too. I know, she says, nodding her head. Mom, I'll be back in a minute. I need to use the toilet. Okay, she says. I walk away. I walk into the bathroom. I knock into someone who is leaving. Oops, he says as he looks up. I can see it's Louis, the boy who sang earlier. Why did I capitalize sang? I was 13. That's probably why. Hi, I say to him. Hey, I'm Louis, he says, sticking his hand out for me to shake. I grab his hand and shake it. Harry, I say. Nice to meet you, Harry. But I have to go. But I'll see you later. Yeah, nice to meet you too, I say as he walks away. He walks off out of sight and turns to give a little wave. Well, he seems nice. I don't know why I just, wrote a story about them meeting. That's so weird. That's so odd of a thing to do. This one is very intense. I don't know if I can even read that one out loud without, dying. Honestly, I'm gonna be so for real. But this one, I will read. Just my pages. This one was a collab with my friend, who we're still friends. We don't really hang out, though, because, we're all busy. But she wrote, one page, and then I write the next, and we, went back and forth. But they were, different POVs. It's taking forever to load. Come on. I don't want notifications. No one uses this thing anymore but me. Who else posts on the site but me? Okay. While that goes, we're gonna wait a minute. Okay, now I got to load. So this was the intro pages we wrote for our characters. This is mine. I'm so happy this picture's not loading, I'm gonna be very honest, because I can't imagine how horrible this is. It says, hi guys, I'm London Lynn. I'm 21 and I'm 5'4". All of that a lie. I have red hair and blue eyes. I love to sing and write songs, and I'm a YouTuber. I'm originally British, but I lost the accent a long time ago. Okay, that's not even a picture of me. That's some random chick. Okay. I got that picture off Tumblr, I guarantee you. I live in Cali now with my best friend, Jessenia. I think that's how she pronounced it. Jessenia? I don't know. My favorite YouTuber and celebrity crush is Kian Lawley of O2L. He is just so sweet. Well, that's all for now, but you'll find out more later. Winky face. And then the thing we put at the bottom of every page was, friend's such a strong word. We're much more than that. This was my friend's page about hers. We're gonna skip her pages because this is just about what I wrote. This is a cute picture. I love that. So we're just gonna read London's POV today, guys. London's POV. I wake up to the annoying sound of my iPhone ringing. I pick it up, rubbing my eyes with my fist. I can see that it's a reminder telling me it's Friday, time to make a new video. I make a happy squeal and jump out of bed and run across my carpet floor into the bathroom. I run a brush through my long, bright red hair and put on my makeup. I walk to my closet and pull out this. So this right here is what used to be a link to a polyvore outfit, if you guys remember polyvore. I made polyvore outfits like no one's fucking business. I was on that. I loved polyvore. I made a million polyvore outfits. And sadly, the website shut down, so you guys can no longer see the outfits I made. That means I can no longer see the outfits. I run downstairs and find Jessenia eating breakfast while texting. I don't know why I always said Wilts. That's so funny to me. She looks up from her phone when I enter the room. She takes a bite of her toast before greeting me and returning to her texting. I grab an apple and a can of Arizona tea before sitting across the table from Jessenia. I have to ask her how to pronounce that. We sit silence, eating for a moment before she speaks. I'm gonna be with Tyga today. That's the guy she's writing about. I think this is when he was dating Kylie also. Maybe it was before. So you can film whatever you want later. That's probably before, because this is 2013. She shoves the last of her food into her mouth and gives me a quick hug before running out the door. I laugh at her eagerness. She really likes that boy. Pretty sure he was a grown man. I finish my apple and take my tea up to my room. I sit at my desk and think of what I should do for my video. I grab my camera and turn it on, starting my signature intro. I had to laugh because I started reading it. Hello guys, London here, back at you with another video on this lovely Friday. And with that, I hit the button to stop filming. I sit and think for a few minutes before I decide to tweet to my viewers and ask for ideas. Most of them were the same Q&A video or another cover or do a music video. Finally, I pick a Q&A video. I ask the fans for questions and I turn on my camera. I tell them that what I'm gonna do add I start answering questions. I go through about 5 before I come upon one that asks who my celebrity crush is. I laugh to myself. Well, my celebrity crush is Kian Lawley from O2L. I'm sure most of you know him since I talk about him a lot on my Twitter, but for those of you who don't know, I really like him. But we've never met, but we will someday, so don't worry. That was so fucking weird. I answered 3 more questions before I end my video. Then I plug my camera into my cherry red laptop and begin editing my footage. I cut out the usual pauses and awkward moments. It takes me around 30 minutes to edit and an hour to upload. I don't know if that was accurate. Whilst it is uploading, I go onto Twitter and scroll through notifications, following fans and retweeting other YouTubers. Once my video uploads, I tweet about it, then I decide to head down the street to Starbucks. I grab my purse and phone and start the walk. I put my headphones into my ears and listen to Give Me Your Hand by the Ready Set. I loved the Ready Set, in case you couldn't tell. I quietly sing along, and after a few minutes, I realize I'm at Starbucks. I walk inside and order my usual. I sit down and scroll through my Twitter timeline. I send a quick tweet that I'm at Starbucks, which of course gets a ton of tweets in reply. After a few minutes, I have 2 girls come to me telling me they're fans, asking for pictures. I take a picture with them and sit to finish my drink. They leave, and a boy in a tank top with the word fresh on it comes up to me. He looks really familiar, but I can't tell behind his sunglasses. Girl, if your celebrity crush walks up to you wearing sunglasses, are you gonna not know who they are? Come on. I had no common sense at 13. I'm gonna be so honest with you guys. This is gonna be really stupid. Do you mind if I sit with you? He asks. I say sure, and he sits across from me. He reaches his hand towards mine, and I take it. He shakes my hand awkwardly, and I laugh. I also spelled towards wrong. T-words is what I put. That's funny. He asks me my name, and I tell him. He smiles, and tells me he likes my name. I thank him, and then he says his name is Kian. Then I realize why he looks familiar. He is Kian Lolly. Oh my god. We're gonna skip hers because she's not here. I'm not reading it. Meeting Kian Lolly. This is I don't know why I chose that picture of him. That's probably my favorite picture. I was that kind of person. I had favorite pictures of all my favorite celebrities. So weird. Wait, you're the Kian Lolly? I asked him a very loud and excited voice, which caused him to hush me and look around as if he was afraid someone would hear. Yes, I am the Kian Lolly. Just keep your voice down. We don't need to get kicked out of here for causing a mob again. He smiles, laughing and taking a drink of his coffee. I laugh because I know how he feels. There have been plenty of time where I get surrounded by fans and cause a riot in a public place. However, it is quite exciting still. Kian and I sit and talk about YouTube and our experiences with fans and how our life has changed since we started YouTube. We sit and talk for an hour. At least 4 girls come to Kian for a picture and 3 come to me as we talk. After an hour, we both start to leave. Hey, London, Kian asks, do you think I could get your number or something? He asks, looking down and rubbing the back of his neck. I can see a hint of scarlet flood his cheeks. I giggle and nod, causing him to smile. He takes my phone and puts his number in my phone and texts himself. He smiles and tells me he has to go, waving as he leaves and telling me he'll talk to me later. I then leave and start to walk back to my apartment, a wide smile never leaving my face. I just met my celebrity crush and got his number. I walk into my apartment, I feel my phone vibrate in my back pocket, and pull it out to see it's Kian. Hey, London. Hey, London. What did I just fucking say? Hey, London. I was wondering if you wanted to go hang out tonight. I smile and send a quick yes in reply. He texts back and asks if I'd like to see a movie, and I say yes. We start on the Hunger Games. That dates this. And I start to get ready. I brush out my hair and up into a messy bun and fix my makeup. I change into polywore link that's broken and wait for Kian to text me and tell me he's here. That's the end of that page. Thankfully these are short. I don't think I ever read hers, honestly. This is such a funny. This is the last page, I think. Yeah, this is the last page. This is so funny. London's POV. I'm waiting for Kian in the kitchen when I see him pull up through the window. I run out to meet him, and he gets out and opens my door for me. I pretend to curtsy, and this makes him laugh. We get into the car, he turns on the radio. Give Me Your Hand by the Ready Set. This is my favorite song, I scream, causing him to laugh. He starts to drive, and within minutes, we're at the cinema. Cinema. I did not call it that. We get out of the car and make our way into the building and buy our tickets. We buy our popcorn and drinks, then we take our seats in our appointed viewing room. Why did I fucking phrase it like that? Whoa, God. We sit through 10 minutes of previews, multiple of which are about turning off your cell phone before our movie started. We've been watching for about 10 minutes when 5 boys approach us next to Ian. I look over through the dark for a moment before I realize who it is. It's the rest of O2L. I scream internally as I steal a quick glance at Kian and see him frowning. What's wrong? I ask him with a concerned look. He looks at me for a moment, his expression softening. He looks at me for a moment, his expression softening for a moment, only to turn to a frown again. Well, kind of just wanted it to be us, you know? But all my friends had crashed the party, he says sadly. I smile at him and nod. We can come to my apartment after the film. We can do whatever. My roommate won't bother us. That is, if you want to come over. I say hurriedly, nervous sounding, which causes him to chuckle. This sounds amazing. He says, give me a reassuring smile before we both turn back to the screen. About 5 minutes later, I feel eyes on me, and I see all 6 boys staring at me, whispering amongst themselves. What? I say, scrunching my eyebrows together. They all turn back to the movie except for JC and Ricky, who keep whispering and looking at me from time to time. They seem to be checking me out, but I brush it off because living in LA, you get used to this kind of thing. Pretty sure Ricky Dillon is gay, actually. But I don't think he'd come out at that point. That's so funny that I said he was checking me out. I mean, if he hadn't come out yet, he might have been checking out girls. Who knows? I didn't meet him. I don't fucking know. The movie continues on for what seems like 3 hours. It probably was 3 hours. When we leave the theater, it's nighttime. Once we're out of the theater, all 6 boys bombard me, surrounding me at all sides. They ask me questions, except for Kian, who tries to get them to leave me alone. Like, what's my name, how old am I, etc. Kian answers the questions for me in an annoyed tone, then pushes the others away. He grabs my hand and leads me to his car. He seems upset, I think to myself, as I observing his frowning face. We sit in silence. Are you alright? I ask him quietly. His head snaps around and faces me, his eyes alarmed and upset at the same time. I was just upset because they were all talking about how gorgeous and beautiful you are during the movie, but you were my date, he says angrily. I think for a second before smiling, which just makes him angrier. Why are you smiling like that? That isn't cool, you're my date, he says angrily and slightly hurt. I lean over and hug him before quietly whispering, because you're adorable when you're jealous, in his ear. He is silent for a second before he starts the car. This time, Give Me Love by Ed Sheeran is playing on the radio. As he backs out of the spot and starts to drive to my apartment, I quietly sing along. The lyrics of I'm not reading it. We sing along until the song ends and we pull up in front of my apartment. As we are walking into my apartment, he says, "You're an amazing singer. How do you not have a record deal?" Which caused me to smile and lightly hit his arm. Well, you can't just post a video of yourself singing on YouTube and instantly become famous. At least not everyone has that sort of luck. Hey, it worked out for Justin Bieber. I said, yeah, sure, that'll happen. I thought, rolling my eyes. I absolutely, for one, I did not understand how the internet or being famous worked. None of this is accurate, however, at all. Maybe in 2013 it was a little more accurate, but not accurate. Not accurate. And I just hyped myself up so much. Like, I know this is a character. Like, all of this is supposed to be a character, but, I really was hyping myself up. And for what reason? I was a 13, 14-year-old little girl. I was 14 when I wrote that. Who? What? This last one is really, really dense, so I think we might have to save this one for a later date. I have 2 more I can read. It's this one, and then we have one that I only have sent to me on Messenger on Facebook because one of my best friends from middle school found it because we wrote it together. And I don't want to reveal everything about it, but it is smut, so I don't know if I can actually read it on here. I might have to censor some things. And this one as well, I probably have to censor quite a few things because I talk about abuse in it. But it's bad. I don't know if I want to reveal what TV show it's based on. It was based on a TV show. Maybe I'll reveal it. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I have several others that I'd like to read, but that'll have to be at a later time because this is getting very long. But thank you for everyone who watched. Please don't make fun of my mental state in middle school. This was just post parents divorcing, and this all was pre. So, clicked on it again. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.